Welcome, man. How y'all doing? Enjoying? It's Tuesday, the before Christmas. Very good, very good. Going well. Happy holidays to you and yours. Right back at you. Hey, my day is going. It's a really interesting moment. We're finishing up. I just finished teaching my first course as an adjunct professor. I'm going through the final. And the last two questions I asked is Mr. John Kim, welcome in. I'll tell you what's really cool for me, John Kim, John Freeman, Parker Friedman, y'all are in the community. You are growing this community. And even though we just joined our world's December, you guys have seen the community double in the last 3 days. It's crazy. But as I've told you since the start, this thing is going to go nowhere but up. The stars are aligning. People need virtual education. People need to understand. Oh, so 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Welcome back. Look at this. I got a note to myself. I got to connect with you. You are a winner. I got to get you your award. So my apologies. Appreciate you coming back. Today we are going to get it going. So also, can you tell me about penny stocks? I'm looking at some right now. So what industry? Ryan Coffee, welcome back, sir. Appreciate you. Obviously, as we've talked about, I'm not a huge fan of penny stocks, but as we've also said, hey, your portfolio is your portfolio. This is your money vehicle. If you are going to swing for the fences, take some home runs, Burke Doubleday 40, welcome in. I'm comfortable with that, but you need to be able to understand how your portfolio is going to be set up. Do you have protection already? Have you created your singles with index funds? Have you looked at a globally diversified? Have you looked at the S&P? Then as we start talking about penny stocks, my first penny stocks were cannabis companies a few years ago before it got legalized. It did just get legalized, or it went past through the House last week to legalize marijuana. So a lot of people are getting into cannabis, CBD companies, things like that. So if you look high risk, high reward, man, also no doubt about that. That is, we went through that in the investment section. Do, re, mi, re, return equals risk. Can you say happy birthday, Josh? Only Designer 69. Josh, happy birthday. Coming up, this is the holiday season. So John Freeman, great question. What are penny stocks? So Oso is looking at where can I get the most bang for my buck? Where can I go in and look at the investment world? So I know it's going to cost $3,000 to invest in Amazon. I know it's going to cost, a couple $100 to invest in General Electric. Those are, secured blue chip stocks. Then you get into like smaller companies. I would like to use some of the IPOs, but everything that IPOs is just blowing up lately. So you look at, let's say if Airbnb started at the $70 valuation, that's a small company that you can go and buy shares. Penny stocks are companies that are trading literally for 40 cents. So I can go buy 1,000 shares, for what is that, $400? And so people look at it and say, well, that's awesome. I'm going to go get 1,000 shares. And if it goes from 40 cents to $1, I've just made 1,000 times 60 cents. And you look at a lot of people on TikTok will show you, hey, I have a 748% return. What they're not really showing you is it went from 12 cents to, 84 cents. That is a lot of money. That is a great percentage gain. But as Oso points out, high risk, high reward. Most penny stocks do not pay out. And if they do, they hit it really quick and you got to get out right at that moment, because whatever that event was is typically not going to sustain. But a lot of companies start out low, maybe not in the pennies, but that's what a penny stock is. Good question. I am to the moon about 300% in 1 month. Jizzle on my tizzle. Coming back. So you and Oso, you guys are similar thinkers. You want to create those home runs. I respect it. I respect the hustle. I respect the grind. I want you to be able to get into the investment world, to be able to see it and start to understand what it is, as long as you do it with the lens of, I am taking on this risk. I know that this is not a sustainable model. It has been proven time and time again. Active investing, day trading is not going to pan out over the long term. So if you are comfortable and confident in certain companies, take those swings. You are young. You have the opportunity to do so. But do me this favor. Take half of your portfolio and get those singles, get those doubles, because that's what you really need right now. So you get that 300%. That is amazing. That is awesome. I love it. But then always keep building up that security blanket, that other side of the portfolio, because that is going to be one that you're going to be happy you did down the road. Ryan Finley's the GOAT. Ooh, Seth coming in. Ryan Finley's the GOAT. Seth, fractional shares, brother. So yes, you can also invest in fractional shares. So penny stocks are different than fractional shares. Penny stocks are companies that are valued in the penny, cents range. Fractional shares is with newer technology. And you and I, as young investors, are getting a massive advantage over this newer technology. Fractional shares, Acorns, I believe Robinhood, a lot of newer technologies around investing are allowing you to say, hey, Seth, or hey, we got two Seths. We got Seth Maitana and Seth Weinberger. So they're saying, hey, Seth wants to buy a part of Amazon, but he doesn't got $3,000 to buy a single share. So let's let him put in, $30 or $300 and get a piece of one share of that stock. So fractional shares are a great way to begin to develop your portfolio and get into some of those companies that you would not traditionally be allowed or be able to afford. Ryan Coffey, I am so embarrassed, and I keep getting this question because they look weird. My knuckles. So Corona, I started 2 new exercises in Corona. Cycling, so riding a bike outside, which I did today, and it was freezing and my feet went numb. So I'm not going to ride outside anymore until it gets warmer. And I tried to start boxing. Actually, this woman on Instagram named Erica Hammond, long story, she used to date a guy I played on the Lions with, Big Joe. My wife knew her somehow. And so she started, at the beginning of COVID, we started doing these boxing workouts. And I just got new gloves because I was starting to like it. I just got a heavy bag, and the glove cut off right there. And so when I uppercut, it scraped the skin off all my knuckles. Apparently, I need to learn how to box. So sorry, Ryan. That was a long story to tell you. You can get in a fight with me because I can't. Something in the timing, I don't know what was wrong. What effect do you think these new stimulus checks are going to have on the market? So here's what's really interesting about the market. Yes, we are dealing with crazy interest rates. Yes, we are dealing with the new political system. Also, topic I'd like to discuss is stock buybacks, because one of the, along with student loans, one of the bigger conversations that are going to be had is this replenishment of money into the market through stock buybacks. Big companies, traditionally tech companies, oddly enough, not Amazon, they don't like to do it, but everybody else in the tech industry kind of likes these stock buybacks. So as you look at these stimulus checks, it's a fugazi, it's a great movie. But as you look at them, I think they're great. I think many Americans need money. I think it's too little too late. You look at like New Zealand, I believe, at the beginning of all this said, hey, everybody stay home. We're going to pay you to stay home. We want to squash COVID. If we would have done this way back then, I like it. Now, $1 trillion? Like, what? Is this, and to be real, like, is this going to help anyone dig out of the hole? No, we've just spent the last 6 months digging this hole, and we're just going to throw out a huge tax liability on everybody this is politics, because I think now it's like, oh, hey, Joe, good job. You got this pushed through. I love the help of people, and I want people to get that help, but let's not kid ourselves. People who are struggling, $600 is not going to solve the problem. So I love that we're doing it. I think it's too little too late. 6 months ago, I would have been in for it. And now I just see a massive tax bill coming due. And again, why we preach Roth accounts is because the future of taxes are going to do nothing but go up. Desty, appreciate it, Desty Wit, Destry Wit. Jewish Mafia in the house. All right. That guy, welcome to the community. That guy. John Freeman, where'd you go? Lost your comment. I was confused for a while. Absolutely. Thank you. Pick up your nuts. They're absolutely Dragon King. Cool. Thanks, Bo Campbell. Big Saints fan. Rambo coming in. How's it like playing with Drew Brees? I say it all the time. Drew is one of the greatest of all time on the field. He's a better man off the field, and he's 10 times the leader. Drew taught me many things about habits, routine, processes, systems, and truly just being great each and every day. Do you believe VT index is correcting? I've noticed it's been on the decline. Yeah, and that's the beauty of VT. Who's that? Somebody just appreciate. There you are. The Hotbox 420. Hotbox 420. Got to be enjoying the holiday season. So VT is actually a fund that Money Vehicle recommends. Why? It is a low-fee, globally diversified. It owns pretty much every publicly traded company in the world. Can you be a part owner of every publicly traded company in the world? Yes, Vanguard's VT. So it is correcting, and it is going to continue. There is some stuff going on overseas, but that is the benefit of it, is you are invested in overseas. You're invested in those emerging markets. You got to believe countries are being absolutely decimated by this event right now. So the downside of VT is you have a allocation to all of that. The positive is over a long term, it is going to continually to increase, and you're going to see that. Is it going to boom like Oso's 300% or penny stocks, anything like that? No, it is not. But again, you don't need home runs tomorrow. VT is one of those singles that you say, I don't want to lose money in fees. Check. I want to be secure. Check. I want to have diversification. It is a really, really good foundational fund to begin your investment portfolio. So AMP is up 2.92 after market. Let's make it go, Jizzle. Jizzle's my dude. I love when he gets amped. You see Elon's tweet a few days ago asking about switching Tesla's cash into Bitcoin. I did see that. I love the conversation. Who would have guessed Elon Musk is going to be the one that drives this conversation into the future? Again, Bitcoin, cool technology. It is really, really interesting. It has spiked in the last couple days, couple weeks. Nobody can give me an answer of why. And as an investor, as somebody who looks at building out a plan in a portfolio, you have to be able to show me why a market is booming. And not a soul will be able to tell, at least they haven't been able to tell me why Bitcoin is going up. I do see a forward thinker, somebody who likes to disrupt industries like Elon Musk getting into this. But at the end of the day, I just do not see it being nationally, globally accepted, and that is going to limit it from a company's perspective. I think it's a really cool idea. I think he likes the headline, but I don't think it's ever going to happen. You really dropped in the present bucket for the punching bag instead of the future bucket. John Kim using the money buckets, Money Vehicle, respect. Absolutely. So I had to get new gloves, and technically the heavy bag was from my brother-in-law, who wasn't using it from when he was in like high school. So it's like 10 years old. So the heavy bag was free. I did get new gloves. Had to get some biking equipment too. That junk is not cheap. Look at that Hotbox 420. Yo, let's go Saints. Who that say? What's good today, Ursher? Welcome back. Welcome in, brother. Appreciate you. Oh, the James. Who dat? Look at that. Tough one this week, but they'll be back. Drew, man, anytime Drew gets through healthy, that's a positive. That's a positive. All right, so boom, boom, boom. 600 will do nothing right. 600 will do nothing right. Explain that one. Ronnie, appreciate you sharing. That's awesome. Thank you. I have a military retirement and VA disability for the rest of my life. Should I invest, and in what? So you have military retirement, so you have pension. Disability means you get your income each and every month. Absolutely. So what we want you to be able to do, it doesn't matter if, you're an executive at a Fortune 500 company or getting your first paychecks. They fall into the same 5 choices. So that same income, people have asked me this, well, hey, I got $600 for this stimulus check. What should I do with it? The same thing you should do with all of your $600 checks. Pass them through your money buckets. So yes, who is this? The James, I would take 10% of all of those disability checks and keep plunking them into my portfolio. It's just inch forward, but it's the mindset. It is the mindset that you are building all of your items. So absolutely, I think everybody should be putting their money to work for them. This is not something that has been done throughout history. What has changed? You have a pension, you have disability payment, but most people need their money to go to work for them. Do you need as much risk as most? No, you don't, because you have income streams, and so you get to use that. Bitcoin is a hedge against inflation. Seth, I agree with you there. Because it is a currency bet, it is a hedge against inflation, and you get to see, how that plays out over time. Again, anytime you are attacking a risk, inflation is a risk. Inflation says next year, my $100 is only going to be worth $97. Bitcoin has its own idea of risks associated with it. Number one is Bitcoin is still measured in dollars. You know what I mean? Like Bitcoin's only value, to me at least, and you might disagree, but its only value says I can exchange these things into cash money, into real dollars, and go use them. If all of a sudden somebody says, hey, shut down the market exchanging Bitcoin for dollar bills in America, people are going to be in a world of hurt and interesting predicament. Has anyone ever told you you look like Trevor Wallace's bigger, more athletic brother? Like one chose football and the other chose comedy. No, but I'll take it. Yeah, sure. Trevor Lawrence. I mean, he's topical right now. I appreciate it. I don't believe in it personally either. Seth, see, we agree, and this is what we want to do in this community. Is I don't want to agree, disagree. We want to present questions, present predicaments, understand money better. Bitcoin is something that is going to be a part of all of our lives probably for the next 30, 50 years. We all need to kind of understand what it is. I don't need you to believe in it as an investment, but it is beneficial to at least understand. So Seth, Elon says a lot of things. Remember when he said he was going to buy back Tesla stocks, right? There it is. There it is again. Buy back stocks. The hat, LeBron legs cramp. No lie, Bruin. So I do a radio show for Washington State. They are the sponsor. And I went for a late afternoon workout, so I didn't redo my hair for y'all. Where'd you go to college? Washington State. Go Cougs. Thought I heard they might make Bitcoin a registered security, meaning only accredited investors. Parker Friedman. So if they make Bitcoin a registered security and it's only available to accredited investors, meaning, and they've changed the definitions of accredited investors, but typically it's you make $500,000 for 3 years in a row, or you have a net worth over $1 million. That's what an accredited investor looks like. If they make it only accessible to them and say it is now a legitimate security, that would at least legitimize it. That would at least push. I mean, hedge fund managers are starting to buy it, so it is becoming more. But again, even making it an investable security doesn't mean it's going to make it a currency that is accepted by a government, let alone the United States. LeBron Lake Sharon, I've been trying to read it this whole time. No lie, Brewhouse. I can switch the thing. WSU, baby. Wolfpack. Go Cougs. Can purchase it through Regulation D or Rule 147. I believe he is talking about making it a security. Who dat? Look at that side ad coming in. Love it. How exactly does cryptocurrency currency work? Like, how does the value change and stay in? Bitcoin hedge against inflation. Mikey Taylor, my guy, Mikey Taylor. He's giving you the I don't know. I like that's how I'm reading it. It's like the I don't know. And I agree. It's tough. It's a cool new thing, and I love that people are getting hyped about it. But again, people are getting hyped about it. Is it a foundational? Is it real? You can't tell yet. And again, I don't know why it's spiking right now. Exactly does cryptocurrency work? Does the value change and stay in? I would recommend going and watching a couple of the documentaries on Netflix. I did. Still can't explain it very intelligently. At least not one that I want to be held saying like, hey, this dude just totally bombed explaining cryptocurrency. So what would a locker room low? In my opinion right now, Bitcoin doesn't have any value unless it's backed by cash. That's all the value people see in it. So also, that's what I'm saying is like, it is a really neat conversation. I think the blockchain technology, all of that is really, really interesting. And somebody is going to find a way to use it. Personally, like in the real estate world, I think it is going to evolve that industry somehow, some way. I don't know how exactly, but right now you're absolutely right. Unless I can take my 2 Bitcoins and turn them into cash, what good are they? I don't know if you guys have ever seen the story about the first Bitcoin transaction. 2 Bitcoins bought a Domino's pizza that would now be worth like something like $78,000. And you're just like, that makes no sense whatsoever. And that wasn't even 10 years ago. So many more people in the lives love to see it. John Freeman, the community is growing. We are on a mission, money vehicle. We need to have a social understanding, a social confidence around money. That is what we are out to do. That is what the book is about. That is what the course is about. More importantly, that is what you are all interested in. I love sports. I love football. That is our commonality to some of us. The other side of it is this is a conversation that should be had 40 years ago. This is something that should have been done at your local high school or college, but yet we're not having that yet. And so that's why we're having it now. So it is really cool to see the community growing. Are you a real fullback? Jason 5379. I was the best in the world for a moment. So if you consider that real, yeah. Mike Anderson, what's going on, man? Welcome back, Mike Anderson. Do you think the fullback and run-heavy teams will make a comeback due to the rising salaries of quarterbacks? So yes, I think the fullback will make a comeback. I think running power teams will make a comeback. The game is cyclical, and everybody does copycat. So when you start seeing playoff teams make deep runs with fullbacks and heavy run, everybody's going to go copycat. When starting investing, do you want to focus on finding the companies that have potential and their stocks cost less, or do you invest in a safe company like Coca-Cola? Papity, love this question. So I'm starting out investing. Do I want to go find companies? Let me get the question right. Focus on finding the companies that have potential growth, or do I want to get good companies like Coca-Cola, safe companies, blue chip companies? So Warren Buffett's quote on this is, I'd rather buy a good company at a great price than a great company at a good price. Did I say that right? I'd rather buy a great company at a good price than a good company at a great price. So I said it backwards. What he is saying is he bets in the fundamental company underneath. So what he is inferring in that is, I'm not saying it isn't a, let's use Airbnb. Airbnb has all the potential and growth in the world right now. But if Warren Buffett looks at that and says, I don't know Airbnb, I don't know where their model's going, I can't tell you what their future looks like, I'm not willing to make that bet because he is a long-term bettor. He says, I don't buy anything if I'm not going to hold it for 10 or 20 years. And so where I stand is I love buying, again, that security blanket. I love, got to work from home these days. I love when you start out, you want to buy a stable portfolio. Then you get to sprinkle in some of that sauce, some of that cool stuff, some of the fun stuff, even a penny stock, a risk, a company or an industry you think's about to take off. That is the balance. So when you begin, I would recommend you starting with stable companies, blue chip companies, indexing them. If you just bought, the S&P 500, that is your 500 core. Then you get to start adding in different dimensions and different dynamics. So as you start, that is a really beneficial tool. I would start with value and then sprinkle in growth. Again, my analogy yesterday, if you're an athlete coming off an injury, you're going to get that player on a better contract because they are going to be worth a little bit less. Now, the first round draft pick, the number, Trevor Lawrence is a growth stock. You don't know what his resume looks like, but he has all the potential in the world. So as you play through those decisions, go and get some good veteran quarterbacks and then start sprinkling in something like a Trevor Lawrence. So do you think Taysom Hill will ever be a starter somewhere? Honestly, no. I think he's an extreme talent, but I think he is too much of a tweener. I think he is this Swiss Army knife, and I think for the Saints it really played well, and he's going to continue to play well for them. I think he will stay there. But as of now at least, I don't see him as somebody who can go and win the Super Bowl. And to be a starter in the NFL, you have to be somebody who somebody believes you will take them to the Super Bowl. Agree, lots more in the live. Good work, bro. Keep plugging. Less gravity. Thank you. Movement is growing. This is so cool. Have you ever trucked someone in an NFL game? A daily. So, obviously my main job was to lead block, but yeah, I definitely had a couple truck sticks. I'm going to go look for a couple of them. One of them was in a playoff game against the Niners against Navarro Bowman, who it was awesome. So, yeah, I've got a couple truck sticks under my belt. We'll go find those. But mostly I was a lead blocker, so I didn't have the ball. Technically, it's not a truck if you don't have the ball. Who was the funniest player you played with? Any stories or any jokes you remember? Rob Royal was a tight end I got to play with in Cleveland. I don't even know how long. He had a good career. He played 7 or 8 years. But he was just one of the funniest dudes to be around. Robert Royal. One of his funny stories was we were in Cleveland, in the middle of December, and you need a little spark. You need a little spice in Cleveland to go and enjoy. And so he came out in just straight spandex. No jersey, no shorts, no nothing. He was in a full-on spandex suit, and he went through the entire practice in 30-degree weather in a straight spandex suit. So I thought that was hilarious, and he was just one of those. Him and a guy named Carell Buckhalter. I always thought Carell Buckhalter was a pretty funny dude to be around. Belichick loves fullbacks. Patriots lost the ability to run the ball last year when Devlin got hurt. Yeah, Devlin's a stud, man. Ivy League, then played many, many years. So it is definitely impacting their run game, and I just love it because it's respect to the fullback. The Pats got a new fullback, but he has been out because he opted out. Hope to see him succeed. It's this opt-out piece. You never want somebody else to replace you. You never want to give other people opportunity. And it is going to be really interesting to see who comes back next year, looks around, says, whoa, I lost my job. I lost my future, my career. And it wasn't because I stepped out, but it was because somebody stepped in and showed they could replace me. Everyone is replaceable. It's very, very scary. When did you play? I was in the NFL from 2008 to 2014. Mike Anderson, you're starting to blow up. If you ask John Freeman and my man John Kim, we've been blowing up. Now just people are taking notice. John Freeman, Dan Vitale, he's the man. Did you do the question yet? Have not done the question. We're going to get to our money talk here in 1 minute. How much did you weigh when you played? About 255, 260. Smiles. Hello. Sup, cutie? Hey, Ethan. How you doing? Oh, Washington. So, Sinster, you got to put a state in there. Washington State Cougs. UW, Washington is Huskies. How does it feel to be in the NFL? You earn it, no doubt. Playing in the National Football League is a dream come true. But here's something that I get to tell rookies in the NFL today is your dream is to not make it to the NFL. Your dream is to leave with a bag of M&Ms, money and memories. And so it feels amazing to make it in the National Football League. But what you really humble and wake yourself up to is If you don't have anything to show for it in 5, 10, 20 years, your dream was not really captured. So it's a big mindset shift once you're there to realize just being a rookie here is not the goal, and you have to begin to change that. But it is an amazing feeling. Fullbacks for life. I love it. Who's that? Rojo Rum. Love it. Got any green companies you're looking at with the new administration? Interesting. Yeah. I mean, one, I think impact investing is going to take a major uptick here in the next few years. Impact investing is having filters, so you can have negative filters, so you can say, I don't want to invest in these kinds of companies or these kinds of industries. You can have positive filters that say, I want to lean towards these types of companies or these kinds of industries. That can be political, could be social, could be religious, whatever you sway. But let's see, green companies right now. My brother's working at a company called Rivian. They're an electric truck company. I think they're going to be pretty big here soon. Let me think on that. It is really interesting to be able to align investments with your personal beliefs. Podcast times, where to find. So LeBron, Rookie to Veteran comes out typically every other week. It has been pretty good. We're actually going to change a little bit of it. We got some great hosts. I got Marcus Colston coming up in January. So you guys can check out the Rookie to Veteran podcast. That's a little bit more mindset focus, which I enjoy. Felix, GOAT, hardly, but I appreciate it. Derek Watt is the best Watt brother. No cap fullbacks for life. King, love it. I was there also. Disagree. I was there before you got super big. Mike Anderson, we appreciate. Wazoo, go Cougs. Always go Cougs. Wow, 100 people. This blew up. Congrats. Quacky McWacky. We trying. People need it. People want to talk shop. They want to talk money. We want to welcome conversations and continue to build the community. Welcome the ability to come in here and ask questions and be a part and amongst people who also want to understand. We should collab someday. Mike Anderson, I welcome that. Spread the message. Anybody who wants to empower people to use money as an employee, I am in. Mac Musey, respect the fullbacks, man. Love watching your videos. That was fun. I mean, obviously that series took off, so I appreciate, Mac, that people liked it. Now it's kind of opened up my mind to all right, here we go. Where are we going next? Talk to Austin Eckler. He does finance stuff. Austin Eckler does, really? I'm sure he would like to help you out. Interesting. Sorry, guess I knew that since I'm from Washington State. Best moments. What best moments where, Kevin? Dope. Who dat? Love it. Who dat say? What were the fans in New Orleans like? NOLA people, man, the best. Everybody wanted to have a cocktail, have some music, talk about them Saints. But New Orleans is one of those special, special places with a culture that just cannot be replicated. Green energy companies are doing fairly well right now. JJ15, that is with our new President Biden. A lot of people are shifting into that category. And it's a cool. Hello, peace, Crystal. Know it well. Right, Bloomington, Illinois. Worked in Bloomington at the best steakhouse in Illinois, bar none. Very cool. I love the THCX stock. It's a marijuana EFT. So there you go. Thing will pop when legalized at Fed level. And you saw the two Canada companies just unite, join forces. So yeah, there's some crazy stuff going on right now. Did you play for Paul Wolf? Did you think he got the shaft when he was fired from Wazoo? He definitely, no, I didn't get to play for him, but it's a competitive job. How long have you been a CFP? So I started studying for the certification in financial planning my third year in the NFL. I played 7 years, so it took 4 years to get all the understudy parts. And then I sat for the actual exam the first year after I retired. So I've been a CFP for about 5 years now. This year, I left wealth management. I'm no longer a financial advisor, which is why I don't, go heavy into investing. But we started a company called Money Vehicle that is all around financial education and financial empowerment for people like you and me. You're easily one of the worst fullbacks to ever get in the NFL. No wonder that's a dying position. For the dogs, hope your day turns around, brother. Honestly, happy holidays. How would you feel being in a locker room like in Philadelphia with the divide between Wentz and Hurts? So I was in those kind of locker rooms. And when you're losing, everybody's job's at stake, and everybody is looking at each other. Honestly, there is no divide. Every player at the professional level goes out and realizes every play I have, the only currency in the National Football League is film. And you go out and you have to give 110% because if it's the first play of the game or the middle of the fourth quarter and you're blowing them out by 30, people are still watching your film, still grading you. There are entire departments in NFL teams that are not even college scouting. That's a different department, but they are pro scouts. They watch every game from every angle and evaluate every player. And so it's really humbling when you become a free agent. You walk up to your NFL or your pro scouting department, and they will give you the grade. And it is not pretty. And I don't care who you are. You're a Madden 99, you're going to realize where your weaknesses are because these dudes sit there and critique it. So the Wentz and Hurts thing, I think people are just saying, hey, we have an opportunity to possibly win, put in the best guy for it, and it feels like at the moment Jalen Hurts is the guy. How was it playing with Breeze? Love that question. Love it, but he was the best. Speaking of CFPs, who's going to win the CFP this year? College football playoff. Got to go. Congrats. Thanks, Bloody Blum. Who wants to try and be an agent for athletes? How constant were you talking with yours? Great question. I don't think Rivian is public, however. Oh, yeah. I don't think they are public yet. They will be. That was just a company that came to my mind. So I think you're right, Bloody. So how were you talking to your agent? So one, becoming a sports agent is an extremely competitive space. So understand you are going to be working and grinding, and you have to be able to add value beyond the traditional sense of a sports agent. So I was talking to mine my first couple of years, a couple times a week because I kept getting cut. We were looking for opportunities, looking for jobs. Respect. His name's Derek Fox. He was a smaller, he wasn't with a big agency. He was on his own. But he stayed with me through getting cut a dozen times. So our appreciation, our relationship definitely grew. With commercial real estate and hotels on the decline, what industries do you see benefiting? That's a great question. So warehousing. If I was going to invest in something at the moment, warehouses and parking lots. You look at all the e-commerce need to be delivered. All of those trucks need to go somewhere when they're not being driven. So parking lots are popping right now. Warehousing is going berserk. I know a couple people in the commercial warehousing space who are having an excellent 2020. People in the commercial office space, not such a good 2020. But I would look at warehousing and I would look at parking lots. Who's going to win the CFP this year? If Trevor Lawrence is that guy, I believe in him. Bama's good. Everybody knows Bama's good, but Trevor's supposed to be the dude. Any notable companies you've worked for holding the title? Any notable companies you've worked for? So I worked for an RIA, registered investment advisor out in Seattle called Brighton Jones. Any thoughts on the college football playoff and who they picked? I think they picked the right teams, especially you got to appreciate short season. And you also want to always understand they have a national attention concern and interest. So the CFP always has that. Holy shit, you got 102. What does that mean? I've heard a lot of guys who play in the NFL don't actually like football. Is there truth to that? Absolutely not. I got to talk to Michael Irvin, and he was delivering to us as a rookie group. And this is something that he said that has always stuck with me. He said, if you don't love this game, you'd be crazy to play it. It is way too painful. It hurts too much to not love it and go out and play it. So it becomes a job. They don't love it like we loved high school football. I didn't love going to work every day, but you love going out there on Sundays and you love masking the pain and going and playing a game and getting paid for it. So no, guys love the game, but it definitely becomes a job. And so you don't just, it's not just the passion that gets to play, but you have to love the game. Eli Fallis, what's up, man? Which warehousing and parking lot companies would you invest in? I ain't gonna say that, bro. Just giving people ideas. E-commerce with warehousing is great answer. Short-term temporary employment agency to warehousing. So Doc House, talk to your man James Lemon. James Lemon seems to know where he wants to go with that. Corey Hayes, go Saints. Love the EA UX too. That's true. Correct. ND versus Bama is the only game that matters. Okay. Notre Dame versus Bama. You think Notre Dame has a shot against Bama? I've had conversations and formed relationships with current agents to learn the basics of the job, the bond. So that is really cool. I love that. You need to have your network of agents because you are going to begin to play into this game. No different than coaching. You got to build that network. What is interesting about agents is you're going to have to start to look at what is the value we are offering athletes of the future. So the sports agent of the future is not only going to have to deal with contracts, which is obviously a necessity, negotiating, things like that. I believe they're going to have to be able to partner with people like myself who needs to teach them about money. Financial literacy is going to be part of the modern day future sports agent, as well as the marketing and branding side. The sports agent is going to have to understand what the influencer model looks like and how can they get their player more eyeballs, more views, and more money off of the field. So it is becoming a much more holistic offering than what was originally just get me a job, give me a contract. I really wish they would go to 8 teams for college football playoffs. Ursher, yeah, but you this is the Pandora's box. You go to 8, people are going to want to go to 12 and then 16. Pretty soon you got March Madness. Texas A&M, ooh. Cam Newton comeback player of the year. Texas A&M should have gone in over Notre Dame. It's debatable. Notre Dame, they looked poor against Clemson, but Clemson's also good. Cam Newton MVP. What's up? Cam Newton to GOAT. Cam Newton comeback player of the year. I'll give it to Cam. Stand up. Let's see the height. I'm definitely shrinking. So James Mom, my man. Is the biggest difference between college and pro the speed and size of all the players? So I wouldn't necessarily say the size. You know, guys don't typically grow that much from college to the NFL. Speed, yes. Game gets faster. The mental side is exponential different from college to the NFL. Your playbook is 10 times bigger. The requirements, the reads, the pre-snap, the post-snap, everything is not just a chess game, but it is a disguise. So the biggest difference is definitely the mental side. The competitiveness obviously gets a little bit off the charts, but I would say the biggest difference between college and the NFL is people's attention to detail. You have guys who are 10-year veteran Pro Bowl players that work an entire day on one single step, a 6-inch step. You look at like special teams guys, they will hold the kicker after practice and say, I want to walk through your kickoff so I can time it, so I can hit it right on a dime. You have receivers who have to master not only what step, but how that step changes based on the coverage midst route. So it's the details that is the biggest difference in the NFL. Stand up. No, Bama will win, but Bama played UF A&M, so who's left? Only Notre Dame, obviously. Okay, so let's get one more. Are you a starter yet? I always am a starter. When would you say to invest in industries expecting to boom post-COVID, airlines and cruises? That's a really interesting question. So airlines, I think, are going to just explode, come back. I think their business travel is going to remain low, but I think commercial people travel is going to just, everybody is going to say, you know where we haven't gone lately? Hawaii. Let's go. So I think airlines will come back. Cruises, I don't think so. Like, it's really, really hard for me to look at cruises and be like, it's going to be a while. I don't know. They already had a lot of stigmas. I love cruises. I've been on a ton of cruises, but I don't see cruises. I do know Florida's opening up in January. They're already having trade shows and all that kind of stuff. Is it harder to transition from high school to college or college to the NFL? College to the NFL 10 times. High school to college is no joke, though. What's up, Cheesy Mac? No dogs. College to the NFL, buddy. Nah, sweet home Alabama. Okay, let's get to the financial tip of the day. So yesterday, we talked about the premium and the deductible. 2 days ago, we talked about why we need insurance. Today, we are going to specifically talk about the 3 requirements in auto insurance. They are going to be bodily injury, property damage, and uninsured. The only reason people are allowed to go and drive around at 16 is because we transfer that risk through auto insurance. So I love to show people exactly what it looks like when we look at what minimum insurance. So when you have an insurance policy that you can see on your declaration pages, which is something everybody should be able to look at and find, because it's going to show you your premium and deductible. But typically you see 3 numbers: 25, 50, and 10. Now this is the state of Washington minimum requirement. What this means is I will cover per person $25,000, per accident $50,000, and per property damage $10,000. This is the minimum. So this is what everybody gets when they sign up. Now, if you make more money or if you have a higher net worth, then you need to look at these numbers and say, what should they be for me? In wealth management, we always bumped them up to about $500,000. That was with people who made and had a lot of money. Why did you stop at 500? Because there's a different insurance policy called umbrella insurance to go beyond that. But these are the numbers that you have to understand. If I hit a car and it has 3 people in it, each person will have up to $25,000 of coverage. But the total collision will only have $50,000. So if all 3 of those have $25,000 each, that's 25, 25, 25. Okay, I'm covered here. But $75,000 is over that 50, and now I'm paying $25,000 out of my pocket. So these are numbers we really have to be able to visualize and see and understand. What else is interesting about auto insurance is property damage, bodily injury, uninsured. That doesn't cover you. If you look at it and say, well, what happens if I get hurt? That is your health insurance. What happens if my car gets hurt? That is also not covered in your requirement in your auto insurance. If you want to have your car covered, you have to go get collision and comprehensive. That is my car. The insurance company, the requirements only say if you hit someone, that is where we come in to take. So we need to look at it and have to be understand, is my assets, is my income, is my net worth protected with those 3 numbers, 25, 50, and 10? Now, when I look at my car, is that, if I have a $50,000 car and I get in an accident, is that going to be covered? No, if you did not get comprehensive or collision. So those are misunderstandings that a lot of people have when they look at insurance. So you need to know where your needs are. You need to know how much you need, and you need to know what type of insurance to go get, and then you can go find out where to go get it. Another caveat I like to share with people, because a lot of people do not know this, is if you have a friend who says, hey, let me borrow your car this weekend for XYZ, your insurance covers the car, not your friend. So if your friend gets in an accident in your car, your insurance is what is going to be called. That is something that a lot of people do not understand. People rent out their cars all the time in college, after college. Hey, did you get Brian? I need your car to go move my. If they get in an accident, it is your insurance. So I want to give you a couple tips on how to lower your insurance. Then I want to ask you the question of the day so we can get a winner. And also 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, Kyle Ferber are our winners from yesterday and the day before. How to lower your auto insurance or how to lower most insurance. Premium is the cost to own it. I got to pay that every month. Deductible is the cost to use it. I got to pay that when I actually go about using my insurance policy. Again, insurance, much like plungers, you don't really appreciate it until you need one. So I look at shopping around almost every year, and people are like, oh, I like my insurance person. I like your insurance person too, but you always have to continue to shop around and look at deals and prices. Number 2, bundling. Not just your policies. So I'm bundling my renters and my auto, my homeowners and my auto, but also your payments. Paying in one fee or 2 fees in a year will save instead of doing the 12 monthly payments. So bundling your payments or your policies. There is a safe driver discount. You see those commercials. There's also now a low mileage. We ain't working. We ain't going to drive into work. Can I get less on my auto insurance because of the lower mileage? Number 4, your credit score is so significant because it is your financial reputation. There are many factors that go into your credit score. We covered those a couple of days ago. But looking at your credit score, if you have a higher credit score, you can get charged less on your premium. Why? Because companies see you as less risky. And the last one, and this is an interesting one, is the teeter-totter of premium and deductible. If you have a higher premium, you have a lower deductible. If you raise your deductible, you will lower your premium payment. Why is that? That is because you are telling the insurance company, I will pay out of pocket more if I actually use this policy, but I do not want to pay more on a monthly basis. So I'm going to raise my deductible, the cost to use it, and I will lower the premium, the cost to own it. So that is one of the significant ones a lot of people can go change. Young people say, oh, well, I only want like a $200 deductible because, what happens if if you don't think you're going to get in many accidents and you want to self-insure a little bit, put that deductible at $500 or even $1,000, because another way to make sure your premium stays low is to not claim small accidents. So little incidences are ones you want to avoid. So that was the finding. Again, this is what we love about Money Vehicle. We're going 30 days of December. We are doing a financial tip each and every day. Today is wrapping up chapter 7. Woo! The 22nd, we were wrapping up chapter 7. That doesn't sound right. 7/14/21. We might be off a day somehow. I don't know. But tomorrow we are going to talk about cybersecurity, begin to have financial tips on that. So we will ask the question here in 2 minutes. Let me get to some of these questions in the comments because I love the community. This some adult stuff. Yes, it is, Papity. We adultin'. And if your car is a lease, it's a real bummer. JJ15, preach. What is the prize? Good question, Charles. The prize is, we are in the 20s, $50. Did he say $50? Yes, I did. Free access to the Money Vehicle course. You can get the Money Vehicle book signed by yours truly, or you can get a playing card. Most winners actually have been getting the course, which is really, really cool. When is part 4 going to post? Luke, go check it, man. Part 4 is out. Pay a higher deductible. LeBron's strength. Got to go. Love the content. You make my day so much better. John Freeman. That's so cool. But isn't that kind of risky? Raising the I want the book. Don McAllister, 77. CC. The book is on Amazon, but Don, you get the question right. Never thought I would hear an NFL fullback tell me about cybersecurity. Gus, it's one of the first 10 questions of your financial journey. That's what Money Vehicle covers. We got to talk about it. Am I an expert in cybersecurity? Absolutely not. But I do know a lot of the fundamentals. I do know ways to prevent phishing attacks, and I do know ways to improve your cybersecurity and cyber defense. So that's what we're going to cover. So give me the question, baby. Here we go. Doc Jews, will you cover Bitcoin with cybersecurity? A little bit, not much. So the question of the day, what are the 3 requirements of an auto insurance policy. 1, 2, 3. 3 requirements of an auto insurance policy. How cybersecurity companies are hot with CMMC coming into effect. So what is CMMC? I know it as Charlie Mike Mike Charlie because Drew went and worked with the Marines. John Kim. Love it. Incorrect. No, this is the first one you've gotten incorrect. Liability, comp, and collision. James, also incorrect. Remember, comprehensive and collision is my car. The auto insurance company only cares about the liability of you hitting other people. So change it, property, collision, and liability. Very close, Charles Chevalier. And I might need to regroup on this one. So cybersecurity maturity model certification. Interesting, Dochos. So Charlie Mike Mike Charlie is complete mission until mission complete, working with the Navy SEALs, I believe. Drew was crazy and got to work out with all those kind of guys. So the 3 requirements of auto insurance: bodily injury, property damage, and uninsured. Bodily injury, property damage, and uninsured. It's a way DOD is holding the contractors effective. Andrew Hodges. Joseph Gruber. Welcome in, Joseph. So those are the 3 requirements of an auto insurance policy: property, uninsured, injury. I like it, Charles Cavalier. Gotcha. Thanks. Appreciate it. Let's see. Charles Chevalier. 11. Can't you reject UIM? Is that underinsured? What is UIM? I'm not good with abbreviations. Completely forgot about uninsured. Sure. Respect for the state of Washington. That's awesome. Paul, yes, I love your content. Charles Chevalier, I will be reaching out. All right, so since we swung uninsured motorists, I do not believe you can reject it. It is state by state, so I am referring to the state of Washington, but it is also the vast majority of states that require those 3. A couple states are there's my guy, John Kim. So let's change it to give me one way to decrease your insurance payments. We'll get a winner there too. One way to, you are the best creator. Stazzy G is daddy. Man. Yo, this is so, it's just cool. Like, this is fun. I'm enjoying, raise the deductible. Boom. Higher deduct. Look at that. People jumping now. Let's see. Who was that? Kyle. Oh, Kyle J. Ferber back in. So Kyle J. I got you from yesterday. I need to one up for you. JJ1515, welcome back always. Let's see who else we got. Bam, John Kim. Never question John Kim again. Raise deductible, lower premium. DOC, House. All right, and then let's credit score. Boom, Ursher, credit score. Love it. Are you going to answer football questions? Yeah, come bring them on, Cortez. We're done with the finance for the day. Have a good credit score. Charles Chevalier. Have a license longer. Interesting, Seymour. Don McAllister. Appreciate you. Height and weight when you were in the league. Raise the deductible. Who is that? Don McAllister. Multi-policy discount. I love it, Adam Hodges, too. Adam Hodges. All right, let's get to that football question. Where was he? Andrew Ranger. So I was just under 6'2", about 255, 260 while I was playing in the league. Both my brothers are taller and skinnier, which is why we were all a basketball family, and I was the only one that ended up going to play football. Who was the hardest, scariest linebacker to block one-on-one in the hole? A guy who I hit in college and in the NFL, played for the Cincinnati Bengals, named Ray Maluga. Ray was literally, I just think a bag of bricks. Like, I don't think he had bones or muscles. I think he just had bricks. He brought the wood. Yeah, he was intimidating. Annual as opposed to monthly. Ooh, James Lemon, I like it. Is there a period? Period, James Lemon. I like it. All right. I'd love to hear about the trash talk. So what's funny is, again, so my dad is Creole, I'm part black. The trash talk to me was always white boy. Like I always kind of like in the back of my head, I was always like, okay, I get it. Like I get it. Trash talk was amazing because once you get to that level, physically there are a few freaks, but physically most of the guys are pretty competitive on a level. The mental side, the trash talking, can you get a guy insecure? Can you get a guy thinking? Can you get a guy? So on that 4th video that I just posted in the series, he started to think about me. That was the mental side of the game. That was the trash talk. And I would start chirping at him. I wasn't a big talker, but I would go at it from a different lens. I wouldn't say like negative or quibble. I'd like joke, like make friends with the guys, because that would throw them off because everybody wants you to be a tough guy, badass. And so cornerbacks are the best trash talkers in the game. Corners believe they've never been beat. The only reason people catch the ball is because of fluke deals. So let's talk more about trash talk tomorrow. Snapshot or download a driving app if you don't mind being tracked. What year was this? Hello, my people, Small, Andrew, LOL. All right. Did you ever get featured on NFL Films? I did. I got featured a couple times. Did you ever block Lance Briggs? Also blocked him. Briggs was a dude. I mean, he came in right as Urlacher was. Okay, give me 2 minutes. Okay.
They're ready. I can't keep
So they were a dynamic duo. NFL Films, definitely got onto NFL Films a couple times. Also, some of those like where they voice over you. People made fun of my intro, so I thought that was kind of funny. Josh, go Cougs always. I heard Heath Evans said Briggs knocked his shoulder out of place. Lance Briggs was a man. So yeah, that does not surprise me. Lyman trash talk is the best. That's what's funny? It always starts with the D-line. D-line, offensive line. There are a few. Richie Incognito was a trash talker at O-line, but do you still train like you did in the NFL? Absolutely not. I still train, but totally polar opposite of what I